United's chances, though, were significantly reduced when they lost one of those games in hand at home to Stoke City by 1 goal to 0. And it was really all over for them when they faced Leicester on the 24th of April, losing 2-1. They were then in a position where they could not win the title. Derby lost at Villa, and their game in hand at Everton to leave them well and truly out of the running. It was all down to QPR or Liverpool. The scenarios were reasonably simple. Anything other than a win for QPR and Liverpool would be champions. If we won, Liverpool had to avoid defeat against Wolves to claim the title. There was a scenario that if QPR won 1-0 and Liverpool drew 3-3, we'd finish on the same points with the same goal average, meaning we'd face a playoff at Wembley. To further complicate matters, the two teams would not play on the same day, something you wouldn't see these days. QPR would face Leeds on the 24th of April, but back then you didn't have international breaks, and the European Championships were played across the season rather than a summer tournament as it is today. Just the semi-final and final were played in June. England were already out, but Wales had reached the quarter-finals and were due to play Yugoslavia on April the 24th. And their star man, John Toshak, was needed for Wales, so it meant Liverpool couldn't really play on that weekend. They then had a UEFA Cup final first leg on the following Wednesday. There was no games allowed on FA Cup final weekend the following week, so Liverpool would have to wait 10 days to play their final league game of the season. Of course, none of that would have mattered if QPR had not moved the West Ham game from April the 26th back to January. If that fixture had remained where it was originally scheduled, then wins for QPR against Leeds and West Ham would have seen QPR crowned champions, regardless of what Liverpool did. Still, we couldn't change that now, and it was Leeds United standing in our way at a packed Loftus Road.
I got my wages before we even played the game. I convinced the secretary upstairs, and I said, "Give me the win bonus," and he gave it me.
And I mean, Leeds were a good side. I mean, they're a great side. You know, when we're thinking now, we're playing Arsenal's and you're playing Leeds, who were mega sides at the time. And here was little QPR, you know, they were playing to win the league.
And here the position is quite simple. Queen's Park Rangers, second in the table, must beat Leeds, who are fourth. If Rangers lose or draw, Liverpool will be champions this afternoon. If Rangers win, then Liverpool will need at least 1 point from their remaining game away to Wolves. Queen's Park Rangers are at full strength with 9 internationals in their side. But there's a special welcome for one of the uncapped players, David Webb, who's been scoring some spectacular and important late goals for them. The other uncapped player is Don Masson, and he's being watched this afternoon by the Scottish team manager Willie Ormond, who could yet give him a late call-up for the home internationals. Leeds are without Terry Yorath, who is playing for Wales in Zagreb, and without Alan Clark, who is injured. Another absentee is Gordon McQueen, victim of the long-term injury that has kept him out since November. But Billy Bremner, that combative little Scotsman, is still there to lead them. And Queen's Park Rangers, in the blue and white hoop shirts, kick off, attacking the goal to our left. Webb, a nod down by Reaney. Challenge between Hollins and Bremner. Thomas to Jerry Francis, the England skipper. Bowles. Cut out by Frank Gray. And brought away by Trevor Cherry. Referee this afternoon is Mr. Bill Gow from Swansea. Quite a blustery wind and a cold afternoon in London. Packed Loftus Road ground. Frankie Gray. Ball for Gibbons to chase, but Reaney cuts it off. Bowles. When Bowles heads into the box, there is always danger around. A man who was involved in a couple of controversial penalty incidents over the Easter weekend. One crucial penalty which kept Rangers in the championship chase. But here now is David Harvey, to take the goal kick for Leeds. Masson. Good ball, and Hollins had taken up a good position. Bremner. Mackenzie. Eddie Gray. Hunter. Clement. Confident and well-judged back pass on a windy afternoon. Nerves will be important here this afternoon. Dave Thomas and Reaney. Thomas lost his footing, Reaney steps in, and Thomas fouls him. That's the first free kick of the game. Long kick from Harvey and a head back by Webb. Pitch very firm, which will make control even more difficult in the wind. Good cross, header away by Reaney, and Clement's run and cross come to nothing. Jerry Francis, whose shot lost a lot of pace on the ground. Harvey in the Scotland squad for the forthcoming international games. Cherry's header to Hunter. Too high for Mackenzie. Clement. McClintock. And Masson. Hollins on a run in the inside left position. But Masson is looking for something else. Tried and left it too late. Jordan. Gillard. Harris robbed by Thomas. Webb. Bowles. Bremner coming to him from behind. Billy Bremner indicating a dive there, which really is absurd. Wrapped right across the back of the legs of his man. Hunter the general. Masson with the free kick, and Webb is in there, and Harvey catches. David Webb had taken up a good position. Masson floated the free kick, and Webb got in the back header. Offside flag. Linesman takes it down, and Rangers have possession. Givens. Madeley. Reaney, Hunter. McClintock, beautifully done by the Rangers centre-half. Clement, Francis, Bremner. Just a little nudge by Jerry Francis on Billy Bremner. And that clash of the two skippers gives us a free kick for Leeds. Hunter to take it. Mackenzie. Webb. Thomas. Hollins leaves it for Thomas, who knew what he was up to. And taking over again from Masson. Clement. Off the top of Madeley's head, Harvey has it. Webb to Masson. Givens raiding, Hunter covering. Reaney, ball again lively in the wind, and Thomas takes advantage. In comes Francis. Givens, and it struck Madeley. Best chance of the game so far. Gillard, blocked by Bremner. Hollins. Gillard. Rangers with the screws on here, and now it'll cool down as Leeds regain possession. But that build-up there with the cross from Thomas and Jerry Francis missing his kick gave an opportunity to Givens, but it was blocked. Madeley hooked away from him cleverly by Givens. Cherry. Eddie Gray. Harris on his right. The ball inside the back meant for the young Welshman, and he's found the speed but couldn't quite get there before he ran out of pitch. It's Paul Reaney, 14 and a half years with Leeds. No foul. Mr. Gall smiles and shakes his head and says that was a simple accidental entanglement. Thomas and Reaney going over each other. Harris. Stolen away from Bremner. Givens. Francis! Great save by Harvey! Made out of nothing by Queen's Park Rangers. Givens just looked up, saw Francis arriving, knocked the ball instantly, and a great shot by Francis, well saved, and indeed very well saved by Harvey. Now Francis. Givens. Shot by Masson was blocked. And Harris for Leeds. Gillard. Thomas. Wide for Clement. McClintock. Hollins. Gillard. Only Webb back for Queen's Park Rangers as they come looking for this important goal. Hollins. It wasn't very far wide. He set himself and took deliberate aim from 35 yards, and at the last second Harvey decided he needed to go for it. Bremner under this with Hollins. Masson. Hollins. Hunter. Jordan. Robbed by McClintock. Thomas. Gillard. Still in play. Bremner finding Jordan. Hooked away by McClintock to Masson. Hollins. Thomas takes over. Frank Gray's nod down to Eddie Gray. And back out again. Francis going with him. As soon as they get the ball into the Leeds third of the pitch, Rangers put the pressure on the man with the ball. Madeley away. But it keeps coming back at Leeds. Clement. An easy one for David Harvey. About 8 minutes to go to half-time, and still 0-0. Harris finding Jordan. Bremner. Nicely done to Cherry. Still Cherry. Had a sterling game for Leeds in this first half. Frank Gray, Mackenzie trying to play the 1-2, and McClintock and now Gillard. Clement. Bowles. Hunter coming into him. And getting the throw in. range of shots on the far side for Norman Hunter. Spectacular view for the spectators in the big newsstand on the far side. Collins. Bremner. Jordan's header. Webb gets it away. Masson to Francis. Collins has stolen through again. Francis. Masson. Now Bowles challenging Hunter. Bowles shooting, there's a deflection and it's chopped by Francis, and an incredible reflex save by Harvey. Francis got a foot to it, Bowles set it up, and Harvey brilliantly stopped it. Hunter. Mackenzie, Cherry, off balance. Collins. Good interception by Cherry, made up for his tame pass that set up the possibility for Rangers. Now here's Gillard. Not yet clear, but Madeley will get it out now. Mackenzie. Offside. Mr. Parsons, the linesman on the far side, who's given some decisions which have displeased Queen's Park Rangers, giving an absolutely correct one there in their favour. Doesn't get any pat on the back for that, of course. Madeley made contact. Eddie Gray. Mackenzie. A push there by Eddie Gray. So we played 46 minutes in this first half. Masson. Collins to Francis. McClintock waiting on the far touchline. Thomas out this side. Gillard available. Givens with Reaney coming in behind him. And the ball given away to Jordan. Taking on Clement. A lot of empty space in which to do it, and he's got Hunter coming up behind in support. But Jordan's still going on, and Hollins comes to the rescue. Webb. And there's the half-time whistle, and Dave Sexton heads for the dressing room, knowing that his team have still got it all to do. A very tense situation still, as Liverpool wait and hope at Anfield. For the second half, join us again in a few moments. To nervous West London, where Leeds kick off, attacking the goal to our left, with Queen's Park Rangers still needing the goal that would give them 2 points. In an ideal world, they would like a lot of goals here, which would then mean that Liverpool would have to play for a big score at Wolverhampton. But I think the situation is such that Rangers are realistic enough to know that one would do them and put some pressure on anyway. First corner of the second half. David Webb getting up there as Thomas takes it, and it goes to Masson, who miskicks. Mackenzie, just Harris ahead of him for Leeds, so he plays it back to Reaney and finds Jordan offside. Mistimed his break, not by much, but by enough. Towards Webb's head, Hunter got under it. Reaney, and now hooked on by Jordan. Clement still in play, but out now. Francis, and up goes Webb again. And it looks very much as though in this second half, Rangers have put John Hollins into the back four and thrown David Webb forward. Well, he scored some crucial goals for them this season. Can Thomas get it across to give him a chance now? Over it comes. Francis' header. Bowles goes up. And Harvey catches. Clash of heads there between two players, Bowles and Frankie Gray. Jordan's back header, cut out by McClintock. Gillard slips. Jordan. Harris. Seen very little of him. And now Bremner. Eddie Gray to Reaney. Hunter. Mackenzie to have a little nod, but Webb was there. Gillard. Thomas. And Webb now has resumed his station in the back four. Bowles playing it on for Clement. Two men in the middle, Givens and Francis. Clement looking for the cross. Chipped it a bit too hard. Thomas. Cherry and Madeley get it away for Leeds. Looks like being a second half of sustained onslaught by Queen's Park Rangers. So much at stake, with only about 40 minutes of their season remaining. All this effort condensed now into the drama of this second half. Good cross, but going behind. 8 months of toil, bringing Queen's Park Rangers within touching distance of the championship, but really under the whip. The longer it goes on, the stronger Liverpool's position is. Clement. Eddie Gray. Mackenzie. Jordan. Pulled back from Mackenzie. Could score here. Great save by Parks. The best chance that Leeds have had. Jordan. A quick whip back to Mackenzie. Mackenzie a whiplash shot. And Parks an international class save. Hunter. Eddie Gray. Madeley. Bremner. So adept at turning the ball into a safe space. Madeley. Eddie Gray. Acknowledged the fact that he had Jordan outside him. Decided he would try Phil Parks, but in the end didn't do so. It was a good couple of feet over the bar. Forward towards Mackenzie. Jordan leaning on McClintock. Got a bit of time wasting. Jordan and Gray trying to work something out between them, and Jordan has found a space. Bremner. Bremner's shot came off Webb. Hollins shielding it for Parks, and he hasn't got it. Chasing it out, and now he's in trouble. He's pushed it out for the corner. Mackenzie did the right thing, trying to chip it back into the middle with the goalkeeper out of position. But Parks was able to dive and palm it over the line. It's the fourth corner for Leeds, balancing up 4 corners by Queen's Park Rangers. Eddie Gray. Parks going looking for it and not reaching it. Harris. Hunter in support. Harris gets over his cross, but it drifts away behind the line. Off a Rangers defender. Thought it changed direction a bit dramatically. And that's a corner on the far side for Eddie Gray to take. And for Frank McClintock to marshal the Queen's Park Rangers defence to deal with. Over it comes, and Parks only gets fingertips to it, but they were enough. Bremner. This is the most sustained spell of Leeds pressure we've seen. Another good punch by Parks. Cherry turning it. Bremner, Hunter. Rangers desperate to lift the siege, but here comes Cherry. Tries a shot, and Parks saved well on the edge of the 6-yard area. Trevor Cherry let it bounce and then let go. Well, certainly at Loftus Road, the season ending with a game that will make the fans eager to come back for more at the start of next season. Leeds, not quite the team they were of old, but still a side of such experience that they are not easily overcome. And Rangers, an exciting all-purpose team in which everybody seems able to do everything. Here's Bowles. Good work! And that was hooked away by Hunter as Harvey dived. Long throw by Hollins. Very good jump by Mackenzie. Masson. Little flick by Hollins that didn't work. And the wind now favouring Leeds in this second half. They're taking off Frank Gray, who was injured in a clash of heads with Stan Bowles earlier, and they brought on Peter Lorimer, and this is going to call for a certain amount of reorganisation, but it's not too difficult for them with Trevor Cherry in the side. Great utility player who immediately takes up station at left back as Frank Gray goes off. Eddie Gray. Fine, accurate ball to find Harris. He loses it quite easily to Gillard. And then concedes a foul by tapping Gillard's heels. Madeley, a good header. Bremner beaten by Francis. Ball's not off, but Hunter in there battling for it. Cherry, Eddie Gray, Francis, Masson, Hunter. And a collision between 2 players and the referee. Hollins and Lorimer bumping into Mr. Gow. And Lorimer comes out of it with the ball for Harris. This time he's lost Gillard, but slipped as he played the cross. Masson, just a shift of his hips, won him a foot of space, which was all he needed. There's a mistake by Madeley, letting in Gibbons, and Harvey saves! Great work by the Scotland goalkeeper, as Gibbons was clean through then, following a slip by Madeley, and Harvey had to come out and plunge. Bravery and timing, the key to that. McClintock puts it in. Header by Hollins. And it's in! Gibbons the cross, and Thomas has scored! As the to put Queen's Park Rangers 1-0 in front and send Loftus Road wild with blue and white delight. 27 minutes remaining and Queen's Park Rangers have got the first goal. They're unbeaten here this season. Their home record in the league, 16 wins and 4 draws. It's the size of the task now if Leeds are to get back into the game. Francis. Francis lets go again, but just wide. Queen's Park Rangers now on the rampage. Jerry Francis picking it up in midfield, making ground, and the left foot shot just a foot or two wide of the post. Jordan offside. Billy Bremner will keep the fight going until the last whistle. Free kick, back header by Masson, and Harvey coming chasing a long way out of goal. Puts it into touch. Sensible, safe thing. Field towards Mackenzie, but out of play. Clinton. Francis. Bremner. Lorimer. Still Lorimer. Jordan. Thomas making life difficult for him. McClintock. Too high for Hunter, but Madeley clears. Masson's header. Bowles jumping and missing. Cherry. Mackenzie to Jordan. Out to Harris. Jordan again. Cut out by Gillard. Hollins. Hunter. Madeley. Eddie Gray playing it on for Madeley. Bremner. Eddie Gray. Spread wide for Jordan. And trying to nod it back for Lorimer. He gives it to Francis. Who have I got with me, says Francis. Out here, Bowles. Masson. Gibbons' header, cleared by Reaney. Webb waited for it and Jordan got in. And now here's Mackenzie. Webb bowled over McClintock. Mackenzie! Oh, what a fine save by Parks! Mackenzie was going for the corner and it would have gone in. On the break there, a collision between Webb and McClintock left Mackenzie with a chance to run on goal, and Parks timed his move out and his dive to perfection. Madeley forward for the corner. Eddie Gray with the ball at his feet. Lorimer now. Bang it goes, a deflection. And Parks' heart must have skipped a beat then. We've still got 20 minutes to go. And the Leeds fans raising their hands. Norman Hunter enjoying himself. To the near post it comes, was a flick, and Bremner almost got to it. He asked for handball. Mr. Gow says no. Ball certainly struck something as it flashed across there. Mr. Gow of Swansea, who's refereed the game firmly and well, denies a penalty. respond to their crowd. Not at the moment. It's a Leeds throw. Queen's Park Rangers chairman on the end of the line there, suffering. A man who sometimes finds it difficult to bear the closing stages of a game. Maidley. Harris goes over, the ball goes out, and it's Leeds throw-in. 8 minutes left. Billy Bremner. Gillard not standing on ceremony. Lorimer's overhead. Webb got to it, and Francis completes the clearance. Now Rangers on the break, 4 against 3. And here's Stanley Bowles with an acre of space. Francis calling for the near post ball. And it's got in by Bowles! Sealed now. Queen's Park Rangers are going to win this. And that one must be put down in part to Harvey's mistake. But Rangers capitalised well on the chance to break. The ball was hit out to Bowles. Francis was coming in, calling for a near-post pass. May have distracted Harvey, and when Bowles hit a relatively soft shot, Harvey couldn't stop it from going past him to make it 2-0. Stanley Bowles' 12th goal of the season, and with 7 minutes to go, Queen's Park Rangers are going to complete their season at Loftus Road unbeaten, and Liverpool are going to have to do something at Molineux. Clement to Masson. Forward they come again. Bowles. Bowles tricks Cherry. And again. And crosses. And that should have been number 3, but Clement put it over. Bowles disappointed because he did his part fully there, sending his man this way and that before crossing, and Clement from 3 yards range was still jumping as the ball came, and as he went up, so did the ball over Harvey's crossbar. But happiness is a blue and white scarf at Loftus Road. Webb's header. Greeny doubling back, but we're now inside the last minute, and Queen's Park Rangers are putting the pressure on Liverpool. Foul by Webb on Jordan. Shoulder between the shoulder blades. Mr. Gow taking the signal from his linesman. The 45 minutes are now over. As Bremner drives the free kick, and Parks comes and catches calmly and competently. The hallmark of Queen's Park Rangers football. Whether they end as champions or runners-up, they'll worthily represent England in Europe next season. And there is the final whistle. Queen's Park Rangers have done everything they possibly could. Their fans come swarming onto the ground. Goals by Thomas and Bowles in the second half give them a 2-0 victory over Leeds. And now it will be up to Liverpool against Wolves at Molineux.
Well, what a performance by Queen's Park Rangers. I don't think that anybody will grudge them their 2 points from that game and for sending the tension on for another 10 days. But I wonder how the Liverpool players are feeling about all that. With them, those of them that were at Anfield for that Central League reserve game, is Gordon Burns.
Well, here at Anfield, the champagne corks did pop. But it wasn't a premature celebration for the First Division League Championship. It was, in fact, to celebrate the reserve team winning the Central League Championship here this afternoon. A 3-0 win over Stoke City Reserves. And that is really a tremendous achievement by Liverpool Football Club, because that's the 7th time they've won the Central League Championship in the last 8 years. But throughout the afternoon, the crowd that was here, the commissionaires at the door, the dressing room attendants all had transistor radios to their ears, listening to the latest bulletins from Loftus Road. And I suppose there was a lot of disappointment when that first goal went in, done in London. Some of the first team players had made their way to the ground here. They were sitting up in the press box. David Fairclough was there, Phil Thompson, and in behind them Ray Clements and Ian Callaghan, all watching the game but still at the same time listening to their transistor radios. Afterwards, some of the players drifted into the players' lounge here to watch the reports coming in on television, and indeed to see the Queen's Park Rangers players waving in triumph to the crowd as though they'd won the title, which didn't exactly please Phil Thompson, Jimmy Case and David Fairclough. Phil Thompson, disappointed in the score from London?
Yes, a wee bit. You know, we're hoping Leeds could do something, you know, because we know they're a really good professional side, and they're going to try and fight this European ban. So I thought, you know, maybe if they weren't going to win, they were going to draw, they could grab a goal or something, you know, make it 1-1, or would have been good for the goal average. But the way it's gone, it's been a fantastic result for QPR. But we've just seen them on the television and they seem to think it's over. But we've got a lot, you know, we're really going to show them. It's going to be ours.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you sitting together with David Fairclough up in the press box during the second team match. Did you have a transistor up there?
Yeah, there was a couple of radios about, you know, the scores were coming to us all through the game.
Was it tense sitting up there listening to the scores?
Yeah, your mind kept on going back to their game a bit, you know. You wanted to know how they were getting on. A bit nerve-wracking.
So, Jimmy, it's a draw as long as it's up to 2-2 against Wolves, or a win. Is it going to be a tense time waiting for that?
Well, I think that, you know, when the game starts down there and our defence, you know, it's getting on, you know, they're quite good in that, so I don't think they'll...
Getting quite good.
Thanks, Jim. Saying. I mean, I don't think Wolves will score, you know, and as it be so tight, I think, the game, and I think we'll come away with a win down there. And as Phil said, I think QPR, I think they've won it already, you know, so I don't think it's over yet by a long score.
So all the people totting up the goal averages and things are saying that if it was a 3-3 draw at Wolves, then the title would go to QPR. Would you say there's no way Liverpool could let 3 goals in at Wolves?
No, we've only let in 9 goals away from home. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed. Thank God we don't have to play at Anfield, because we've let, I think it's 21 in at Anfield, and we've only let 9 in away from home. So I think our defence would be happier playing away from home. But it's going to be packed down there. I don't think we could let 3 goals in. We'll be going there to win. You know, we don't want to draw. We go there to win.
I mean, it's going to be a really tough game, isn't it? Because I mean, Wolves have got to come at you to stay in the First Division, so it's going to be a really tense game.
Yeah, well, they're going to come at us. That maybe gives us a bit of break. You know, to go at their back line, they're going to be exposed a little bit, I should imagine.
So for the Liverpool players and their fans, 10 days now of agonising suspense until the game against Wolverhampton at Molineux on Tuesday week.
Great scenes there. Fans on the pitch, players celebrating. We ended our season top of the league, but faced an agonising way to see if we would be crowned champions of England.
A massive party afterwards. Still got pictures of that, but again, it was so. You know, you didn't know what to do really. I mean, obviously, fantastic, we won, yeah, but. Yeah, are you champions? Aren't you champions? I mean, you know, they're all celebrating. Everyone's out on the pitch. Thousands are out on the pitch. But what was it? It was so like, you know, I remember going out to celebrate. What do? You know, and we had 10 days of that. But it was still a very, very sweet, you know, feeling to actually have won the game, to then go up into the director's box, and I've took photos at home of that, you know, and it was just a marvellous day, and you know, which has lived in the QPR fans' memory.
Typically of QPR, we kept ourselves busy during that 10 days. We played in the Evening Standard 5-a-side competition, losing to Orient in the final, and then we travelled to Southampton to play in Mick Shannon's testimonial, just 2 days after the Saints had won the FA Cup. As the wait ended for QPR fans, we waited for the results. Some fans listened on the radio, others went to Molineux to watch the game, some tried to stay away from it. It wasn't televised. The players as well. Some went to the pub, but a few of them were sat in a BBC studio watching the game. It was all quite simple. A win or a draw for Liverpool, and they were champions. Although if it finished 3-3, then QPR would take the title on goal average. Wolves had plenty to play for. They had to win and hoped Birmingham lost to an already relegated Sheffield United to stay in the division. It would prove to be a very tense evening.
Just into the centre circle, nodded down, comes to Richards. Kinden's moving for the return, that's a good ball, a chance here for Steve Kinden, and he makes it! And gives Wolves a lifeline. Under 15 minutes left, and Liverpool still looking for this vital goal. Chipped up in the box, on by Toshek to Keegan, and the old firm have done it. 1-1, and that will be enough. Look at the delight on those faces of players and spectators. Neil knocking it in, comes sideways, Toshak taking his time, but using it to perfection. 2-1. Keegan. Liverpool ending the match and the season in fine style. Here's Ray Kennedy, stepped his man quite superbly, and what a lovely left foot.
So there you have it. QPR were 14 minutes away from being crowned champions of England. A brilliant season, but a heartbreaking end. We won 14 of our last 17 games. An incredible effort. So close, but yet so far.
It was a sad way to sit in a TV room and watch 90 minutes football and see your whole season sort of go up in flames, really. Very disappointing.
I said, I'm going to get drunk, Jerry. What are you doing? I don't know what he done. He's pissed off.
I can't believe it.
I watched that at the BBC with Jerry Francis. I left when it was 1-1. And it was only, I think, I'll tell you, it was 12 minutes. They was losing 1-0. 12 minutes to go. It was 12 minutes short. You've got to remember, we went into Europe and played very well after that. Where David Webb and Frank McClintock was getting on a bit, you know what I mean? It was fantastic. But, yeah, it was a bit of a downer when we lost the league. We was definitely the best side in the league. Everybody said we was the most entertaining side. There was no doubt about that. When we played night games, there'd be 25 managers up there just to watch us.
So here's the final league table. And the bottom end, Wolves, Sheffield United and Burnley were all relegated. And after a good start, West Ham would have been a bit disappointed to finish so low down the table, along with Arsenal and Newcastle. Manchester City qualified for Europe by winning the League Cup. Derby finished 4th on 53 points, also qualifying for Europe. Man United won their final game to finish 3rd on 56 points. QPR recorded our highest ever league finish in 2nd place, also qualifying for the UEFA Cup for the first time in our history, whilst Bob Paisley won his first league title by just 1 single point. He would also go on to win the UEFA Cup that season. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and check out qprhistory.co.uk for a full look back at this and every season at QPR, plus much more, and enjoy many other videos from across QPR's history on this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.